Spirit Absorb God tier for Russia right there. Hell yeah, dude. Spirit Absorb D tier. Spirit Absorb is like, I don't know. I just think of it as such a waste of engraving, to be honest. Three like Grudge and all of those stuff as well. And what else is there? Well, we'll add up over time as we go then, I guess. This was in there? What is there? Okay, one sec. Wait, what is this? Wait, what? This thing? Right here? This was what it is? Wait, the grass is even B tier. So this is in the gaming vital thing. The one that says like the guy thing. Alright, we have to put like, it's basically for raids, right? It's a engraving for raids, right? This is for raids. So now you have a raid, so we don't count like engraving for Chaos Dungeon, right? So we don't like mix those up. But basically long and good, then you have a tier list. Yeah, okay. Start with this one, right? So obviously Grudge is S tier. Class specific is the same with the argument, right? So basically like every class will use like a class as well. Grudge is 20% damage and 20% damage taken. 20% damage to bosses and 20% damage taken. But for engraving in general, Grudge basically has the most positive out of it, right? Because 20% damage. We're basing it on usability for all classes. I mean, we should consider it. So yeah. Master potential C tier. Should consider like its usage as well, basically, right? Okay, so supercharge. Supercharge can be used on like some classes. Like Blade uses it, Destroyer uses it as well. So it works on like Red Warlord as well. 40% faster charging and like 20% damage on charging skill as well. So it's still good, but it is specific on some classes. For now, I'll put it on D tier, I guess. Since the way it works is like... okay, one sec. I'm thinking right now. Yeah, I would say probably B. Because even if it works for like some classes, it's not a general damage increase, right? Because it works only on charging skills. So even if you use like this, it's your charging skill that gets increased, like a Strike Wave and Power Break or like Second Awakening for Berserker, but it doesn't increase damage from Tempest Slash and other like non-charging skill. So I will put it at B still. Nominal Wheel is PvP. It's like basically like tanky engraving here, so we don't put it there. Ether Boy, so after patch, Ether Boy now doesn't spawn like under you, so it spawns like 8 meters around you. So it's actually being used by supports, because now you can actually give the engraving to someone else. And that's why like Ether Boy should be... Ether Boy is pretty good. It's like, right now, supports uses it if they're like full support. Like like Bar still uses it as a 4th, 5th engraving basically. B or A? What, Ether Boy? I don't really put it there, I think. I feel like it depends. I mean, like, if you consider your, if you're a support, then yeah, it would be like relatively high, because it would be like your 4th or 5th engraving choice, right? Ether Boy grow up, yeah. We put it at C. We can change it later for now, but that's Ether Boy right for now. I'm thinking it might go down, but we'll see, I guess. Near Death. It doesn't really see any use in the end game though, honestly. If you have like an extra slot for a level 1 engraving, Near Death can be useful. Near Death basically like prevents you from dying with a 15-minute cooldown. So yeah, I don't know. It doesn't really see that much use, but it's it can be like okay, it's like, so some engravings are situational, but this one is very situational. Like this is like the next level of situational here. Near Death doesn't save you from vaulting, from falling down. Yeah, it doesn't prevent you from flying. So yeah, Near Death. I don't know. Should we add a row or should we just put it here? D. I feel like there will be other ones that are on D though. Therefore, bombers, centaurs are cute. That can work, but I mean, like, again, this is for raids, right? This is not exactly for that. But near death can be useful in raids as a level 1, you know, just to prevent for like that's fine. You can order them from high D to low D. Oh yeah, I guess that can work. I guess, yeah. We'll change it later if like we need to anyway. So yeah, sharp blunt. So 50% critical damage with a 10% chance of reducing damage done by 20%. So that's sharp blunt. Sharp blunt is basically A right here. It's pretty easy A, to be honest. If anything, it gets higher later on after the new patches, because adrenaline can make up for those critical or precision dagger as well. So sharp blunt is like, at this point with the new engravings, sharp blunt is basically like usable by any classes. Even if you're like a spec crit classes with like 500 crit, you can still use sharp blunt really well. So yeah, it's also like assuming like you get the best, like, you know, your RNG favors you, sharp blunt can even equal out to grudge. But still, it has like the conditional of the critical rate as well, right? So your critical rate and the chance of like reducing your damage, I would still put it at A. So almost every class can use it after the new engraving, but it still has that situational as well. How do I say? It's not exactly situational. It's just like, is this damage increase? Will we take both dagger and with sharp blunt? Because Curse Doll, that's so negative. We'll get to that later, I guess. Vital attack, they are used on like some paladins or some support, basically, for an extra impairment, right? So, but these are like 4th or 5th engraving choice for like supports. They're not exactly like what you choose as like your first few choices, basically. So yeah, I wouldn't really say that like vital attack is that good. But it's still more used than near death though. I feel like near death is a low D or something like that. I feel like near death is a low D and vital attack is like slightly higher, but it's still like a meh. Only support uses it even as well. Max MP increase. This used to be useful a little bit because like for supports they don't have any other choice. Same with like heavy armor, I guess. So they put this, but after the new engraving, this basically like fall down and you don't really need it anymore. Came out with upgrade shit like last time. So yeah, mana efficiency or mana recovery, right? This one has some use, but it's very rare as well. This is like low D as well, I guess. Okay, we put it this, I guess. Probably it's easier that way. This is only used by sorcerers as well, because sorcerers is the one that has some mana issue. Making dominifying? No, it's not worth. I don't think so at all. Yeah, mana recovery only used by like sorcerers. But then like even then like after like properly if you gear it up properly, you probably don't use this anymore. It's between those two. I don't know. It's weird here. Yeah, we'll put it here, I guess, right now, because you don't really use it anymore. Another row for PvP or GVG. Well, that would have like a totally different rating, Taru, if that is the case. So yeah. No, I don't think it's worth making in Russia right now. No. Yeah, Master of Escape. That's like your space bar. Like you don't even need that. It doesn't even like increase your damage or anything. Just reduce the cooldown of your space bar. But yeah, it doesn't like when you fall down and you press space bar. But I mean like you don't really care about that one anyway. You know. PvP is equalized. PvP is generally equalized, yeah. GVG and stuff like that are not equalized. They have like specific engraving for it, but the tiering is gonna be totally different because you don't take any of this. Unyielding, same tankiness engraving. People don't really use this, so we can skip that one. Pulverizing fist, same thing, I guess. No one really uses this. Shield penetration, yep. No one uses this. Master's potential, okay, this sees some use now because of like madness engraving now. The new madness engraving, right? With the new madness engraving, but then again, it's only madness berserker that uses it, and even that madness is like a bit. a bit too spooky right now to use. So barely anyone really uses this. But it does have some use. We'll put it lower than near death, I guess. Okay, Goddess Protection. No, I would put it like no one really uses this as well. Even at level 1 and level 2, you still have like better usage of like a level 1 engraving. So yeah. So I don't think like Goddess Protection is even good. It's even like RNG as well. Sage? What do you mean Sage? Sage? Yeah, Goddess Protection is still even RNG. Yeah, we'll get to Adrenaline later. Adrenaline is here, so yeah. Heavy Armor is probably I would put it at D. I would put it at D. Because like it's same thing, it's situational. Like not even like supports really uses it as well, but some supports do use them. Put it higher here, I guess, maybe. Yeah, Heavy Armor is like specifically on the support ones. And not even like all support uses them as well. Because Heavy Armor was even nerfed as well. Like it was already nerfed in like after the new patch, right? It used to be what, 180% or 150% armor. Now it's like 120 at like level 30 or something like that. It's weaker now, but I mean like it doesn't even give you that much benefit. Because the thing about Heavy Armor is that people don't realize it increases your armor, not damage, not reduce damage taken. And your armor, like depending on your class, you have like a different armor coefficient. So Heavy Armor is different as well. So Explosion Master, do see some use in Hell mode, and also in like if you're using a lot of grenades. If you're like let's say like later in Cuckoo, maybe some people will use it, but even if they use it, it's probably for supports. C is less used than Heavy Armor here, but more than Near Death. Yeah, Enhanced Shield, that's like worthless. 95% reduced shield, but makes your shield like makes when you're shielded like immune to like knockdown and everything. Yeah, this is not even like something you even consider here. Necromancy. Nah, no one uses this right now. Necromancy just doesn't have like enough of anything, unfortunately. So yeah, Broken Bone, like it's so Gravity Training still uses it. Gravity Destroyer still uses it. It used to be OP, but it was nerfed, and then Broken Bone is still there. But Gravity Training player still uses Broken Bone. Probably more than Master Potential at this point right now, because at least it's not that spooky. It's more than Near Death, I guess. More execution. Yeah, I guess so. It's very specific to this class though. Gravity Training only. They need to rehold the whole engraving system and remove all those units. They wouldn't. Because like that means you always get god rolls, right? You always get good engraving. Thunder Fury. Thunder Fury, some classes can use it. Like Blue Warlord uses Thunder Fury. Not their first choice engraving, but they can use it. Battle Master uses it pretty often, like maybe like around 50% of them. And then like so is Meridian Soul Master. So they still have like a decent amount of usage here. Yeah, Thunder Fury. Put it at D, I guess. Yeah, I mean like it works for like people that like has like a lot of like hits, and they contribute for quite a bit. It's not as good as like any of the standard general like damage engraving though. Strike it, or really never thought about that. What, Thunder Fury? Yeah, it's basically like it's used for like classes that like do a lot of hits. So Blue Warlord do a lot of hits, so is Battle Master. Meridian Soul Master uses it as well. But again, they're not like basically first choice engraving. They're like either budget engraving or like maybe like your fifth engraving that you're like picking, you know. Okay, but you can pick the other ones for a better one, if like the option is there, of course. And now we get to Cursed Doll. Cursed Doll, honestly, like I will put it at like low S tier. Like it's not same with Grudge and Class. I don't think it's same with Class and Grudge. I will put it at like yeah, I will put it at low S still, because I think it's better than like Sharp Blunt, Barricade, and the other stuff and all. Yeah, so yeah, Cursed Doll is just like a flat 16% damage gain. not exactly, because it buffs your attack power, so it doesn't synergize well with some of the attack power engraving like mass increase or adrenaline. But it's basically like a linear damage gain of 16%, right? The downside is there is detrimental of like 25% healing reduce, but that applies to like grudge as well. This downside, right? This grudge is like 20% damage taken. Generally, basically, as long as you don't get hit, right, which you shouldn't be. I mean, like if you keep getting hit like 24/7, then you know something else is wrong. But yeah, I would put Curse Doll at low S. Thing is, like it's usable by like any DPS class, and there is no conditional behind it. It's just a plain damage increase. So yeah. How negative attack works? Still understand 100% transition. It's like a flat amount. It increases your attack power by 16%, right? And post like Southburn, like not even post Southburn right now, because there is no AP gate anymore, right? Like Curse Doll basically just increase your damage by around 16%. So yeah, if your HP pot heals for 50k, then you get 25% reduced out of it. If you use the card set, then it would like remove that. But I mean, like you shouldn't be using that card set though. You should be using either like critical card set or Asterlight set. So would you go Legacy, Grudge, Barricade, Curse? I would go Grudge first. Grudge, Legacy, Barricade, and then Curse. Yeah. Barricade would be higher priority, yeah, but that's only specific on that specific class, right? For some classes, so basically you would pick this engraving first over Curse Doll, but the thing is, these are like, you know, not every class can use some of this, right? But Curse Doll is like universal. They can be used by any DPS class. Like for example, if you play Devil Hunter, right? But then like you don't really like backstab, a Curse Doll would work just fine on you, you know. That kind of thing, basically. Started around 2 months ago. You can use it to, I guess, like offset the detrimental, but you shouldn't. I mean, like, you shouldn't. What's the name? You shouldn't rely on it, basically. So yeah, add an S minus or a double S to make it clear. I mean, I guess we can. Oh shit, I changed it. My bad, that was wrong. Okay, there we go. So I will put this, I guess. So yeah, something like this then, I guess, right? Grudge and class is right there, basically. Gladiator is next one, I guess. Gladiator is like Chaos Dungeon. Again, this is for raids only, so we don't care about that one. Backstab, I would put it at... Okay, backstab is basically 25% damage gain on a backstab skill when you do backstab it. Skills that doesn't have backstab does not get buffed by this. And if you miss the backstab, it doesn't buff it as well. But the buff is 25%. Now I would put it probably at B. Thing about backstab is that like backstab is also like very encounter specific as well. Some bosses, like Biekis, and maybe like so Cuckoo, Biekis or above, right? Backstab is basically kinda cancer. Even in Argos is kinda cancer, trying to like always hit the backstab. Because if you don't hit the backstab, this thing does nothing. Zero right here. Supercell is probably even better than that. So yeah, it needed to be a backstab skill, and you need to hit that backstab. So yeah, it's okay, Dream. That's fine. So yeah, and that's the same with the head attack as well. Head attack has the same thing basically. It applies to the same thing. It needs to be a head attack skill, and you need to hit that head attack to actually gain the 25% damage gain. If you don't hit any of the head attack, or if it's a head attack skill but you don't hit head attack, this doesn't do anything to you. So yeah, it's like the conditional is very restricting based on like boss positioning, right? If the boss is like Turtle, Congolanium, yeah, sure, you can hit it like 24/7, sure. But even then, it doesn't buff all of your skill. So yeah, it's not like a flat 25% damage increase, not really. Unless like for some reason your class has like all back attack and you never miss a single back attack, then it's flat 25% damage increase. But it's just unrealistic unless you're in training dummy. So I will put it at B, still under supercharge. So yeah, the usability is just like very restricting. I haven't done it, Dream. No, we'll do it later. Yeah, so mana flow again. Mana usage like engraving has just been like just doesn't see any use right now. Like no one really uses it anymore, unless it's like an old like, you know, like an old like support beard. support build, then they would use probably like here max MP increase. But most people have swap over already. So yeah, barricade. Let's see, barricade. I kind of wanna put it on low A, to be honest. I will put it on low A probably. Thanks, Dream. Mana Engraving is so good on War Dancer. No one uses mana engraving on like War Dancer. You use runes to make up for like the mana problems. So yeah, I would agree with you would agree with low A. Yeah. I would put it at low A for barricade, right? Thing is like it's not as good as Sharp Blunt. Because like I mean like with the adrenaline and everything, Sharp Blunt can be done like really well. Like and then like it doesn't really, there is a downside for it, right? The downside of like Sharp Blunt is the 10% chance lowering damage by 20%, right? But barricade is free damage on all of your skill, right? So it's like Sharp Blunt. It's all of your skill can be buffed by it basically, as long as you are shielded. Now the thing is like you have to be shielded to actually make use of barricade, right? That's why I would put it at low A and not the same as Sharp Blunt. So yeah, from standpoint of 4 or 5 full engraving, now this is like just general engraving. Because if you're talking about like 4 or 5th engraving, some of this would go down, some of this would go up. So yeah, Chris Doll asks, I hate this engraving, it suck my pots. Well, the thing is like so does Grudge though. So does Grudge. So yeah, Chris Doll just is here because there is no conditional on it. You just get a flat 16% damage increase, right? Like whatever it is that you do, you still get 16%. You don't have to hit backstab. You don't have to have high critical. You don't have to have shielded. You always have the damage gain basically. Any class can use this because there is no conditional behind it. So yeah, but barricade, Sharp Blunt has like the critical conditional. So does barricade with the shield conditional. So yeah, put Sharp Blunt in F. Maybe if it's level 1, but we're talking about like properly used engraving. You don't use Sharp Blunt at level 1. So yeah, obviously you put it at F if it's like, you know, level 1. Okay, Blitz is the same thing. Blitz is basically same thing as barricade. It will be like low A as well. Again, it's because of like the usability of this depends on your like your class, right? But the thing is like lately Blitz can be used by a lot of classes because people are now starting to put it on agility with the addition of adrenaline. We'll go to adrenaline after this, right, Key, because you were asking about it. Since some classes just go level 1 with that lower the tier. No, not exactly. Because like the reason why you use class engraving at level 1 is because it has a high efficiency at level 1. So it's not even worth to so it's better to put like another engraving at level 3 compared to your class first. And that's why it's still like even at level 1 class engraving it's still S tier. For example, like combat stance on Warlord, legacy on Scouter, those at level 1 already has really high efficiency. It's better to put barricade level 3 and class level 1 compared to like barricade 1 and class level 3. So something like that basically. So even at level 1, class specific is still gonna be like S tier, assuming it is used properly basically. Assuming it's used properly. Okay. So adrenaline, right? Next is adrenaline, right? Adrenaline, so this is one of the new engraving, right? Adrenaline, basically what it does is it gives you 6% attack power. So it's attack power. So attack power with Cursed Doll, they don't synergize well because they are additive instead of multiplicative, right? So yeah, isn't it damage? No, it's 6% attack power, Steve. Adrenaline 6% attack power, so it's mass increase. But yeah, so adrenaline is over there. It's 6% attack power and basically damage, and also it gives you 50% critical, right? Yeah, you're gonna get it at 20 here. Russia will get it at 20th of October. So because of this addition of new engraving here, like a lot of classes can use Sharp Blunt now, and a lot of classes can forego like some critical to put it on agility, and that's why Blitz sees more use as well. Because Blitz is better than like agility is better than Spirit Absorb. But yeah, there's adrenaline here, and again I will put it at like high. I think I will put it at like, yeah, I will put it here. I guess I think any class can use this, and it still gain like basically about the same damage as like damage gain as all of this engraving. But it synergizes well with Sharp Blunt. Any class can use this, and it lets you to forego some substat for other ones as well. So I put it at like S tier as well actually. Yeah, soon BC. This engraving just enables like all of the like a lot of the other engraving basically. That's why it makes it like really good. Another thing is that like Adrenaline is it has such a good efficiency. It has a linear gain. At level 1, it's 5% critical gain, and level 2 it's 10%, and level 3 it's 15, right? So if you have like something at level 1, Adrenaline is like it's actually really good, you know. You backstab at level 1 is not that good, only 5%, right? So you can see like the range between level 1 to level 3 is massive, right? Backstab being 5% to 25, Barricade being 3% to 16%, but Adrenaline is linear. So if you have it at level 1, it's still really good. Alright, see ya, BK. Before go Curse Doll for Adrenaline, I wouldn't, for me. But it also depends. Like if your class is Sharp Blunt class, so Adrenaline might be a better choice because it synergizes with Sharp Blunt, right? So yeah, so it all dependent on the class and substats that you have as well. So yeah, that's Adrenaline right there. The fact that this enables like all of this engraving is just really high value. So yeah, playing in fighter. Yeah, mass increase is something else here. This is like, so mass increase, what it does is 18% attack power. So it's attack power, it's not damage, which is basically damage, but it doesn't synergize with Curse Doll and Adrenaline for the same thing. But it also lowers your attack speed by 10%. So there is that as well. Now thing is like that 10% attack speed, you actually feel it by quite a bit. So you kind of have to counteract that, or maybe you can get used to like how slow it is with like agility or maybe like Spirit Absorb. Ideally agility. So yeah. Super Saiyan Blade is SS tier, but that's only on like that's only like specific on some classes, Luis. We're talking about general right now. So yeah. Death rate is better. So I would put that like a mass increase over here, I think, because it's still like a general damage, but the 10% attack speed, a lot of people will try to like counteract that attack speed right there, which is fine if you invest a little bit on agility. But yeah, I don't think this is as good as Curse Doll. For a 2% extra attack power, I don't think that like, you know. Yeah, I just don't think. I just think that like you don't really mind like if you play well enough, right? You don't really need to like change counteract like the healing debuff from like Curse Doll, right? But most of the time, people will try to counteract the 10% attack speed reduce for mass increase. And for a 2% extra attack power, I don't think it's worth. So I will put it at A still. But again, any class can use this still. What do you mean actually is auto attack speed? It's the speed of using the skill. So yeah. That would be like what it is. So you can clearly see it basically when you try this later in Trision maybe. Driving Force, no one really uses this, to be honest. I guess a Battle Master can use this, but still, Driving Force is one of the new engraving. You gain damage. You gain like a damage when you use your spacebar for a certain amount of time. So yeah, I mean like it's a decent one, but then you have to use your spacebar for damage gain, and no one really uses that because of that. So yeah. Spirit Absorb is speed of skill, yeah. Attack speed and movement speed for Spirit Absorb. Could be fun with Warlord, but then you won't really have like back jump when you need it. So yeah, I feel like it kind of like forces you to use spacebar for damage basically. So that's why no one really uses it. Sounds so bad. Some uses it. Battlemaster uses it because Battlemaster has a low cooldown on like spacebar, right? But this is like basically like kind of like a meme engraving here. So yeah, you use counter spear. Yeah, try to counter spear Fulton grab. Okay, striking is another thing here. This is actually a really good engraving. Striking, let's see. It's conditional, but it's not as strict as backstab or dual price. I guess I can't put it higher because I put like some of this right here. Guess I put it as here. So striking is one of the new engraving as well. I guess the translation is cost of hitting. I didn't know. So striking here, what it does is basically it increases your damage by 16% on non-directional skill. If your skill has a directional on it, like a back attack skill or something, it will not get buffed by this, even if you don't hit the back attack. So it only buffs specific skill that doesn't have any head or back attack. So yeah, that's 16% damage, which is pretty good, but not all classes can use this. Even some classes that uses this, some of their skill has back attack, so that doesn't get buffed by this. So realistically, this is not 16% as well. Sorceress use striking actually. Sorceress, I think that okay, Sorceress has this counter skill that has head attack, right? That counter skill is not buffed by striking, but the rest of it does. Something like that. Good on Scouter, it depends. Legacy Scouter, it's pretty good, but again, your Exhalion Beam, your counter skill has head attack, so that doesn't get buffed by this. So those kind of skill does not get buffed. It needs to be like a skill that doesn't have any back or head attack. So yeah, I would put it above backstab and do head attack though, because like backstab and head attack means like, you know, you need to hit that and your skill has to have that. There is like a lot of conditional that you have to have for this. But striking, all you need to do is just like the skill doesn't have those conditional to begin with, doesn't have back or head attack, so it's easier to use, but specific for some classes. So it's like supercharge, I guess. I would put it higher than supercharge, I guess, maybe. Yeah, probably. I think it's more universal than the other ones. This one is more universal, but then the conditional is just bad. Okay, this is the meme engraving here. This is one of the new engraving. If you use this, basically what you do, you type like something and then like a lot of question mark in the chat, and then you gain a damage buff for your next attack. So only a single hit, right? So you will see a lot of your chat like being filled by like this anime kind of line or something with a exclamation mark on your chat, right? And then like the next skill that this guy used, basically after saying that, will be buffed by like, I think it was it 30% or 25%? I don't remember the exact number, because no one really uses this as much. Like it's realistically to be used on like a destroyer for their perfect swing. Or maybe like Soulmaster with their awakening. For awakening, the damage gain is halved, so it's still not as good, right? But it does see some use, which is kind of weird, I guess. Not the best engraving, but it does still see some use. Probably put it at, yeah, right here, I guess. Again, it's very specific class, and it's gonna fill your chat as well, and it's not even that good to begin with as well. So yeah, the gain is just kind of whatever. So no one really uses this except like some eccentric people. Destroy uses it for fun though, I guess. Some people use this for fast. Fast engraving. This is basically the counterpart of supercharge here. This is like the other side of supercharge. So supercharge is a charging skill, right? Fast engraving is for holding skill. Holding skill or like perfect zone skill. Perfect zone skill are not supercharged basically, right? So fast is the other side of that, basically. Eccentric people, yeah. It is an actual engraving sim, but yeah. So fast is the same thing like supercharge. Again, it only affects the skill that has this holding kind of property with it. Some skills can be can use a tripod that change it to be a holding skill. So it's similar to supercharge in the way it uses. It's just the different skill, right? So yeah, Lance have been changing build to use this Lance Master with a different set, and then who else uses Sorceress uses this Sorceress because like Sorceress is a casting. Which spell is like this? Snipe from Hawkeye is also a holding skill. You don't use that on Hawkeye though, because it's only a single skill. But yeah, could Inviter use it? If you have a holding skill, yeah. But I mean like it's only those two skill. That's why they don't use it. It's like supercharge. It only buffs those skill that has like a holding skill. So yeah, they can use it. It's just not efficient. Summoner Spear skill works as well, yes. Casting skill, holding skill, and perfect zone skill works. So yeah, they hit the hardest. Yeah, but why don't you use the other one that is general and buffed all of your skill then, right? So basically those are the like everything above this basically, right? Curse Doll, Sharp Blunt, or Blades if you use agility, they buff all of your skill, not just two, right? So yeah, so you can use it. You can use it for those two skill, and it will be a damage gain. It's just not as much as the other one. It's the same with supercharge basically. So this one is basically tied. It depends on like your class whether you use a holding skill or supercharge skills. So yeah, specialist is another thing here. Specialist is like, okay, so specialist I would put it at like, so this is the third like what's the name, engraving priority for support. What this does is basically increase your healing and shield by 24% and an extra 12% I think if the target is under 50% health. So this is basically what supports use, right? Gives you more shield, gives you more heal as well for the party. This also affects your potion as well. If you're a support and you have specialist, your potion is also buffed by this. I mean, potion is only for yourself, but you get the gist of it, right? It increases everything about the shield and the healing as well. So it's third priority for support right here. Still don't get what's the difference between holding skill and hold skill, but they're the same. Holding skill is you hold it. How about specialist level 1 and 2? They are still pretty decent, even at level 1 and level 2. The thing is like about the support, right? This is your third priority no matter what level it is. Like the number is lower, but it's still like, you know, shield and healing gain. And it's better than having Ether Boy or heavy armor, because it still like buffs your party anyway. So yeah. Sorry, hold and charge is what I meant. Yeah, did I say hold and holding? My bad. So it is your third like priority for support right here, right behind awakening and class engraving. Well, yeah, I mean like you hold it, right? What am I supposed to say, man? Emergency rescue. This is like, it's kind of like near death, but not exactly near death. But no one really uses this. So yeah, it's one of the new engraving that is like you don't really need to care about, I feel like. Yeah, you don't. This one doesn't really see any use. I've never seen anyone uses this. If I see one, I'm like weird guy. Urgent rescue. Urgent rescue is class engraving, Masheri. This is not class engraving. This is one of the new general engraving that you will get in the 20th. So yeah, one sec. One sec. I need to check something. Okay, that's the name of the Bard one. I think in English it's called Urgent Rescue, yeah, but it's not Emergency Rescue, so that's not the same. Right, so Precision Dagger here. Precision Dagger is 20% critical rate at level 3 and 12% reduced critical damage. So it increases your critical rate but lower the critical damage, right? So yeah, this one can synergize relatively well with Sharp Blunt and the other maybe like other ones if you need like critical. But the thing is like, this one is such a low damage gain. The only reason why this would be usable is if you have a tripod that increases like critical damage, and if you use maybe Sharp Blunt. But even then, you're probably better off with like other engraving, which in junction with Sharp Blunt. So yeah, this damage gain is very low for this one. So I wouldn't really like recommend using this unless if you play a sorceress that has like a lot of like critical damage tripod, and maybe like some other classes that uses like critical damage tripod as well. Reflux also uses dagger. Reflux or ignition can use dagger, because reflux and ignition both increases that has a tripod that increase critical damage. So if you use the critical damage, right, the 12% critical damage reduction from precision dagger basically offsets itself through the tripod. So you get a free 20% critical rate, something like that, you know. So yeah, it's still good right there. In a way, it's good. Initiative is Chaos Dungeon. So yeah. Now Awakening here. Awakening is like controversial here. The Awakening engraving here. Like this, I would put it at low C probably. Awakening is like, yeah, it's something that can use on like every class, but I mean like, it just has like such little value for like some of the classes. The only reason why you would use Awakening is if you're an Awakening dealer and if you're using the Awakening set. And even then, with the new set coming out, right, already in KR or later in Russia, like almost no one uses Awakening set. Probably Berserker uses it, and Legacy Scouter, not Legacy, sorry, Technology Scouter. And yeah, that's probably like, it's because like cooldown reduction is still there. But other than that, it really doesn't see like really good uses. Soul Master doesn't use this anymore. yeah, it's just like, it's just not good, I feel like. I just don't think it's like something you should even go for. Like Ignore the Weak would be better than this. This is Ignore the Weak actually. Ignore the Weak would be here probably. It's better than Awakening, I would say. Yeah, it's basically Dominant Fang people also run. Okay, here is the thing, right? Dominant Fang people run Awakening, but the thing is, Dominant Fang people that run Awakening, it's because they don't have a choice. Dominant Fang forces you to have Awakening. If you take off Dominant Fang, right, then probably they wouldn't use Awakening. So yeah, Heavy Nerf comes with this patch, yeah. For support, it's Pog. For support, it is really good though. Yeah, the fact that it's okay. We can put it that behind Ether Boy then. Shit. Thing is, like, it's like priority. Like it's like priority for support, but it's only for support. That's the thing. So it's hard to put this right here. It's only for support, but it's high priority. Okay, we'll bump it up for the sake of supports, right? For the sake of supports. Shit, but then specialist is also the same. God damn it, man. Yeah, it's hard to gauge these two here, because this is like basically a support engraving only. Hard to do this. Maybe in the rule of the tier. What, make it DPS classes? Because it's a bit too different. Yeah, I guess if that is the case, I can do that. Yeah, because the engraving for like DPS and support are like way different. They are nowhere near each other. Let's get away with the Dominant Fang excuse. For support, it's way faster. Yeah, but I mean, like, if we remove support, then this Ether Boy would go down as well, you know. And so is Vital Attack. Yeah, it's kind of difficult to do this right here. Maybe like we bump this down to both of these down, to be honest. And not because it's bad, it's basically amazing, but then again, it's for supports only, basically, right? So I would say like it's like that, basically. Supports don't matter anyway. Well, basically, think of it this way, right? These two are really good, but it's a conditional that you have to be a support. Something like that, you know. Because this would be like S tier for support, but for DPS it would be like either question mark or D tier. Due to tier list, nah. Support is like too little to actually care. Yeah, we'll put this right here with the disclaimer that like this is basically best engraving for support, but for DPS it's just a no-go, basically. I can't see. Yeah, we'll just put it there. We'll put it in the middle because it's best for support. It's kind of like useless for like DPS, except for Dominant Fang and like some classes that uses it. Awakening Dealer. That's why it's a buff specialist. So yeah, screen is small. Add a support tier, but then we have to duplicate this because some DPS can use this as well. You know, Spirit Absorb God tier for Russia right there. Hell yeah, dude. Spirit Absorb D tier. Spirit Absorb is like, I don't know, I just think of it as such a waste of engraving, to be honest. Just such a waste, because on top using Spirit Absorption, right, means that you can't take one of these like good engravings, good damage engravings right here. So yeah, I would put it on like support maybe, but then like it's still behind these two, basically. It's still like, it doesn't do anything for your party. So it's the same thing as for your own, right? So it's just like such a waste of engraving. You're better off using this and invest on agility. You're better off taking off your critical, use adrenaline and put agility, because agility gives you speed and also cooldown reduction. Spirit Absorb does not do that. Spirit Absorb only gives you speed and that is it. It doesn't increase like your cooldown reduction. So you have the same usage of skill in a certain amount of time. If the skill has 20-second cooldown, you can use it like once or twice, right, basically, in the 20-second window, depending on like, you know, you get the gist of it, basically. It doesn't reduce your cooldown. Does it increase Bard heal? Spirit Absorb does not, of course. Why would it increase Bard heal? It does not. It makes it faster to cast it, but it doesn't increase the heal. So yeah. Alright, Etheric Predator. Etheric is okay, this is like one of the revamp engraving here. Etheric, I feel like this is DPS bias. Kinda busy because I mean like 19 of the class is DPS instead of the 2 support. So yeah. So Etheric Predator is like one of the new revamp engraving. What this does is basically over time, right? It gives you ether only for yourself, and it stacks up to 30 stacks. Once you're at 30 stacks, it gives you 15% damage and 30% armor. 30% like extra armor, not damage reduction by the way. It's extra armor. So it's like heavy armor level 1, but gives you 15% extra damage. The problem with this engraving is it has a ramp up time, because you have to like, you know, gather the ether one by one. So you don't get this bonus right away at the start until you ramp it up higher and higher. So yeah. So I feel like this is better than Ignore the Weak still, because at the very least it has like its use, like for the rest of the fight, and it increases your armor as well for people that keeps getting hit, right? So yeah, put it at C, I guess. It's not backstab striking tier. It's nowhere near this, but it's better than Ignore the Weak, I think, because it's always active either way. And then Steady State. Steady State is I will put it like behind, I guess, right here. Steady State, 16% damage increase, at 80% plus health, right? Some classes can maintain it, but some classes doesn't really work with it because they're squishy or they don't have shield. So yeah, that conditional is very constricting. You can make do with like, you know, just chugging potion like no tomorrow anytime you get hit, but still that conditional is a bit like annoying, right? So yeah, I will put it behind backstab and head attack for a Steady State. Double S tier, just don't get hit. Well, even then it's still like 16% damage increase, Soltrek. It's not 20, so it's not grudge tier. Not exactly. But yeah, it would be higher for some classes that can maintain it, but it would be like lower if you play like Reaper or Arcana, something like that basically, right? It's just hard to maintain it. So I will put it in the middle, I guess. So yeah, and that's basically Steady State right here. Yeah, this is basically what I would put right here. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's fine here. So far so good. It's just disclaimer is that Awakening and Specialist is like specific only for support, and so does Ether Boy basically. So yeah, if it's a support it will be really high tier, but at the DPS it's like basically not really used at all, except for Awakening for Awakening Dealer, which is not a lot of classes anymore, or maybe like Dominant Fang player, Awakening set player, which most people moved away from once the new set comes out. So yeah, flip this list and you have Russia tier list. Well, I don't know, Russia is different, right? I'm just talking in general. But yeah, that would be like the class engraving, the engravings in general, I think. Some of this might like change, I guess, it depends. But yeah, it's basically what I'm thinking. Because based on the usage, based on rates only, not again, like this is not based on like, you know, Chaos Dungeon or anything. It's based like on like when it's used properly. So we don't count like Grudge level 1, Curse level 1 or anything like that. We don't count Sharpland level 1. But it's also for raids basically. Like not Chaos Dungeon, that's why these things are here. And not Cube and other stuff. So yeah, that's basically what it is right there.